Hello everyone, welcome back to AAS Publishing. We're going to continue on with part 2 of the series on the AAS Journal's business model. And in this segment we're going to cover money because money is important, and realistically it's not possible to publish a journal at scale without money. For those who think that archive is free, encourage you to look again. So even archive needs about $2 million a year of external funding. Now the AAS is not a commercial publisher, and so it has no sources of external funding for its journals. And in general, just so you know, money within the AAS is generally split into two pots. The first is dues and meeting fees that feed directly back into society activities. And then the second pool of money is for journal operating costs and development, and these are supported solely by journal revenue. So there's these two general pots, and they don't mix. So funding for the society stays within the society, funding for the journals stays within the journals. So since there's no external funding, money from the society does not bleed over into the journals. This means that there's only two revenue streams for the AAS journals to use to support publishing the journals at scale. So these are author fees and subscription fees. So let's take a look at author fees, how those have varied over time. So this plot is a function of time from about 1997 to roughly about 2017. On this plot is the author page charge, although we don't use page charges anymore. Since April 2011, we use something called Quanta, and Quanta itself is worth a video series trying to describe what that is. So note to self to do that. And so this plot shows the equivalent page charges for the AJ in gold, the APJ family in white, and APJ supplement broken out in blue. And so for the better part of, since about 1997 to 2010, roughly in round numbers, about $115 per page. Once Quanta was introduced, this provided a much more uniform estimate of the true publishing cost, and that's why you see the curves after 2010 do two things. Number one, they go down, so effective page charges to authors have decreased and leveled out after about 2016 to roughly about $80 per page, $70 per page. And they also track one another a lot more coherently. Prior to the introduction of Quanta, you can see there was a lot more noise depending on the volume of papers that were published, and afterward they're sort of going in lockstep, in phase, and down. Okay, so that's roughly the cost, author cost, on an equivalent per page basis. So if you wanted to completely eliminate author charges, in other words, a free to publish model, the entire operating cost of running the journals must be shouldered by subscribers, i.e. institutional libraries. So this plot here shows the subscriber rate, how much we charge your libraries, in dollars as a function of time, again from about 1997 to about 2017. You can see toward the lower part of that figure that the APJ family of journals and AJ has been relatively constant, very modest increases to your libraries over the past 20-25 years. And typically in the modern era, to get the entire APJ family, so the main journal, letters, supplement, research notes, bulletin, is roughly about $2,000 per year for the APJ family, and then for AJ is currently separate, and that's about $500. So we run about $2,500 for a typical library to pick up all of the APJ family. On the other hand, there's other journals. One of them shown here on this graph, and this is their currently publicized rate in 2017. So you can see that the APJ is about a factor of 5 cheaper, less expensive than other journals. And you can go to your public library or university library and request that you see the how much they have been paying for the journals over time, and you can fill in this plot with the curve on how some journals have remained relatively flat and others have had a different trajectory as it goes on up. So we are relatively cheap to the libraries. So if you want to put all the costs on the libraries, this can be a hardship, especially for smaller libraries which may not have as large a budget for their libraries. Since the AAS Journals is committed to providing a very broad access to our authors' articles, dramatically increasing the subscription cost to libraries to completely eliminate author fees is not a valid option at this point. So the AAS Journals have long used, for decades, this combination of author charges and subscription fees to libraries to meet operating costs. So the plot here is a superposition of the previous two plots that you showed, one showing the subscription rate to institutions, the other showing the equivalent page charges for the journals over time. So with such a model, with this combination of author fees and subscription fees, this gives the journals maximum flexibility to meet fluctuating economic conditions. We can adjust the fees to subscribers or authors. It scales as the scientific funding landscape changes. If you put all of your eggs in one basket, for example, all library fees or all author fees, you will limit your flexibility and business viability depending on the scientific funding landscape and the number of pages that you're publishing. So that's what I wanted to say in part 2 of this module. This is sort of the money case on page charges and subscription charges and why we do what we do. And I hope to see you on the next one when we'll cover more of the AAS business model. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.